Can you see the photo I'm showing you?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that's the Space Telescope Hubble.
Nice.
It's great. Still up there. It's been there for 40 years. So anyway, different missions, and it's a reusable. The shuttle's a reusable vehicle, so it was pretty economical to use, even given the pricing. Kids, usually when I have the kids here, stop and see me. Like, here's the.
Oh wow.
Like, that usually impresses the runner. So that's where the mission commander and mission pilot would sit.
That's pretty impressive.
Down from that flight deck, that's where all the crew activity is. Anything back further was payload. So everyone thinks, well, the crew would wander around up there and do things. So that's not so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much room to do really anything in there if you have.
Here's the, if you're up in space looking down into the open payload area of the shuttle, you're looking at the payload area. So the hatches are open, and that's where the whatever they're bringing up, they're bringing back.
Are there any cool facts that you could tell us that you think is really interesting about the Discovery shuttle?
Oh, lots of them. Most people think that the shuttle program has lots of power and rockets going off, and not so. The shuttle would go from the launch pad in Florida up into space as a rocket, just like it is here. The shuttle has 3 rocket engines in the back. The engines are not in it right now, but you can see the big cones, the thrusters. Once it's up in space, it's a spacecraft, and it's traveling around in a rotational orbit around the Earth every 90 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And the speed that it's going around the Earth is 17,000 plus miles an hour. It has to maintain that speed in order to stay in orbit. Then when it comes back down, it leaves orbit as a spacecraft and comes down and re-enters Earth's atmosphere, and without power, it lands as a glider.
Wow.
So it goes through a number of very interesting configurations. I think that's pretty cool.
That is.
It always fascinated me that they would just glide back down to Earth.
That was a really very delicate part of the operation, coming back down from the space orbit it was up there. It's a minus 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold. But coming back down, it would go through the atmosphere, gaining more and more Earth's atmosphere as it penetrated more and more from the orbit. And the temperature on the outside of the shuttle would go from that minus 250 up to close to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
It's not that to be protected thermally from those high temps. It's burned up.
So that's what you were saying the tiles on the shuttles do, is protect from heat, right?
Try it again, please.
I heard you telling some other people that the tiles around the shuttle is to protect from that heat?
From the high heat, yes. Yeah, the outside of the shuttle is completely thermally protected against high heat. And it would protect at different levels based on what the engineers would project to be the highest point of intense heat for that area. So some areas like the tile would protect at 2,000. The side of the shuttle where you see those large panels, they would protect up from 700 to maybe 1,000 degrees, so it's not quite as intense. And the leading edge of the wings and that nose of the shuttle, a dark colored nose up on the shuttle, which you can see, would protect 3,000 degrees. That was the highest temperature points.
Wow.
That's incredible.